Seriously, what do you mean you can't tell me there's a secret character, the cameo that you did the 2-hour reshoots for? That's hide unfair, Headpool, and I don't like any of it. Anyway, you're a dick. What do you think we should talk about today?
Villain.
Yeah, of course you would say that. Alright, let's get the show started. Hey yo YouTube, it's Pyro coming at you with another video. In case you couldn't tell, this video is going to be about villains. More particularly, the villains in the MCU. Now, if we include some of the TV shows that I don't really watch as well, say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I did stop after the first season, I hear it gets really good after that, and shows like Agent Carter and the rightfully cancelled Inhumans, which I've never seen, but I saw the trailers and it looked like trash, so I didn't watch it and it was cancelled, so I think I was right in my choice not to watch something that looked so terrible. But there's also the good stuff, like the Netflix verse that has Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and the OK Iron Fist. I enjoyed it, but that's a topic for another day. And Punisher, which was also quite a good show as well. Now, the huge glaring flaw that actually happens within the MCU is its villains. I'm looking at you, Malekith, Shame of the Dark Elves from Thor, the worst Thor ever in existence ever. However, this video is actually going to be incredibly positive. Well, I say incredibly. It's going to be my top 5 MCU villains, including the TV shows. And in no particular order, we're going to start this off with Red Skull. I fear this may be more of a missed opportunity rather than an actual, real, true favorite, as he either has died in the end of the first Captain America, or if he hasn't, which is actually a very good opening, that he has actually been transferred or teleported via the Space Stone. I really feel that Hugo Weaving, one of the best villains I can think of, and just overall actors in the MCU, deserved more. I think he was a really intriguing character that was more than just the bare minimum, I want to take over the world. It is more that maniacal scientific genius, which we do get a lot of in superhero comics and so on, but I think the way Hugo played that was actually really amazing. I think he's got the right character type that you're just really going to absolutely hate, but you're definitely going to want to see more of what he actually does in the MCU. He's the complete opposite of Captain America, but on the same exact coin, he's about order, and not so much as the freedom, but it's still the same coin. And he does not shy away from this at all. He's that scientific genius, like I said before, hell-bent on world domination by any means necessary. And chronologically, he's the first to actually touch an Infinity Stone. So he gets points there. On to my next one, Killmonger. Now, he is the hot ticket right now. He is that breakout villain that's just popped up and taken the MCU world by storm, taken just general villains by storm. Since the Joker in The Dark Knight, no villain, I think, has really touched the hearts and minds and just the eyes of cinema goers. Since the Joker, I don't think it's actually been done in this manner for a very, very long time. It seems as though he's really changed. Well, to be fair, it's been one movie, so we don't know. And who knows if he will somehow make it back. But in that one movie, has he really changed the mold of the MCU villains and how they're done? For me, Killmonger is the most relatable villain. He had a tangible reason that grew beyond just wanting to take over the world, unlike the Red Skull. He wanted to take back something that was rightfully his, and sure, that is the reason for some villains, but something just felt that little bit more human. It wasn't an artifact or anything of that sort, like a lost heirloom. It was taking back what was historically taken from his brothers and sisters in Wakanda and the greater nations that made him so relatable as a villain, that made you want to see more of him. What he did in the Black Panther movie was truly great. It made him question the hero Black Panther of his own movie, of his own first outing. And to do that as a villain, to actually change the hero, not just be an antagonist to the hero, but actually make the character evolve, go on an arc, that's the sign of a truly great villain. Now on to one kill from another kill, and that's Killgrave. Now Killgrave is a straight up villain. Sure, he was tortured, tested on as a child, and all that tragic background story. He grew up to be a vile, despicable villain who used his powers to control others around him to do his bidding while he kept his hands incredibly clean. And while he kept his hands clean, he did incredibly dirty things that people just did not want. Something incredibly disgusting, and if you've seen Jessica Jones, you will know what I mean. And if you haven't, watch Jessica Jones. It's on Netflix. The first season is absolutely amazing. Second one just came out. Watch it. Trust me. Beautiful. But, yes, he has done some despicable things that just should never happen to anyone ever. But that's what also makes him a great villain, is that you love to actually hate him. And you don't want him to succeed, but you absolutely love seeing him on the screen. Every scene, which to be fair, could partly be due to David Tennant, but as a character himself, I want more of that. And on the other spectrum of the tragic childhood, a father that used to beat him and his mother, we've got Wilson Fisk of Daredevil's Rogues Gallery. Wilson Fisk is actually a very intriguing villain. I think this version of him on Netflix is my favorite by far. He's a very, very relatable hero in the very same vein that Killmonger is. Due to his tragic background, he wanted to grow up and make the world better. Make New York, his city that he grew up in, a better place. Because he saw the gritty side of it, the dark side of it growing up. He wanted more for the people there. And now that is his strongest point. To him, he is the hero of his own story. And that is what creates a very strong villain for him. Now, with that being said, and another Killmonger connection, is that his methods are actually pretty damn extreme. He actually smashed a guy's head in a door, like smash, smash, smash. It was a gritty scene. Again, watch that on Netflix, Daredevil Season 1. Amazing stuff. Finally on this list...
Don't these lists have honorable mentions?
Yeah, I guess we can do one of those. Yeah, that sounds good to me. So yes, as my buddy Headpool said, we're going to have some honorable mentions. First off, Bucky from the Winter Soldier. I really loved him. A lot of people tend not to think of him as a villain from what I've heard, but he definitely was, at the very least, in the Winter Soldier, his movie. He was the villain, and I just loved his character in that movie. Well, I knew who it was, and they tried to keep it a secret in the movie, even though the adverts showed it. It was actually still really interesting to see the journey of Cap going to see his friend Bucky on to be this super assassin. Now, Loki, as general consensus, is one of the best villains, if not the best villain, in the MCU. And, as well, redeeming quality for Thor the Worst Thor. I mean, really, what was that, Marvel? You redeemed yourself with Ragnarok. I give you that. And Cottonmouth. Cottonmouth in Luke Cage, for me, was probably the best thing about that show. And I was really upset. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. He dies. He dies. You got a warning. But yes, so he died. And that really upset me because he was a very intriguing character in that. Again, he was relatable. In the sense of he also had a tragic childhood. He was very similar to Wilson Fisk in that manner. Tragic type childhood. He didn't want to be a gangster like the rest of his family was, but he got pushed into it. Even though he doesn't want to become a gangster, he eventually embellishes in that. He relishes in being the crime boss that he is in his little part of Harlem. He takes that in full hands and grabs and does not let go with any way, shape, or form. And I just really love the actor. Can't remember his name, and if I remembered it, I know I couldn't pronounce it. Don't want to butcher that. Now, the final person on my full top 5 list is Vulture. Now, Vulture was in Spider-Man Homecoming, and it was amazing. I'm sure the majority of the reason why I actually really love this character is because of Michael Keaton. He was also Batman. No more. That's it. No, I'm joking. What's really intriguing about the Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming is that he saw the silver lining that happened from all the wreckage and the fights that happened in the Avengers and subsequent activities that happened in and around New York as well. He created a business opportunity for himself. He's self-made effectively in that notion. However, only to get shafted by the government. Now that left him to go rogue and actually get into the black market. So he continued collecting all the leftover weapons from these wars, fights that happened within New York, and he went and got into the black market and selling them. And he even created his, well, he had the Tinkerer to create weapons and sell them to other buyers. I think that is definitely something that we can all relate to in some way or another, with us working hard for something and then it being taken away in one way or another. Not necessarily by the government, but just in general. And I think that makes him a really relatable character. He's a working man. He's not some super powered person. He's not from any sort of specific background. He's a normal, everyday man that has a suit. Not the same way Tony Stark has a suit in any way, shape, or form, but he has a suit, and that is just really cool. And I you know what? Michael Keaton was Batman, okay? Michael Keaton was Batman. So that was my top 5 with some honorable mentions. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Hold on. Why do you sound like Venom from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon?
Because you don't sound like Nolan North or Ryan Reynolds.
You're right. No, you know what? You're right. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting videos weekly. And when you've watched my videos, you can catch me on Instagram, Twitter, Vero. I also have a Facebook page. You can find the links to that in the description box below. But more importantly, I want to know your thoughts on the MCU villains. Please leave that in the comment section below. I'll see you guys later. Peace.